Ravina. Ravina comes along and he says, Zot Omeret, this law of that we learned regarding sticking hazardous items in a wall, the same halacha applies to the following case. Zot Omeret, we can say the same thing. Hamekase boro bidilo shel chavero. Someone covers a pit that they made, a ditch, a bore, with the cover of his friend. Ubo Baal Deli, comes along the owner of the lid, the Notel Dilo, and he now retrieves, takes back his lid. Now someone gets hurt, falls into the ditch. Chayav Baal Habor. The owner of the bore, the owner of the hazard, he's the one who is liable for the damage. So the Gemara says, Pshita, isn't that obvious? It's his hazard. So the Gemara says, not so simple. Mahu detema, because you might wrongly think. Hasam, over there, in the case of the wall and the sharp objects, hu delo have yodeale, deloye. Who, the owner of the wall, you think, you know why he's potter? Delo have yodea lay, because he doesn't know who put that items, those sharp items in the wall, delode, to inform him. So you would think that what, since in the case of the wall, the owner of the wall doesn't know the owner of the sharp objects, and therefore he can't go and inform him and say to him, hey, take them out. And that's why you might think that's why he's potter. Aval hacha, in our case over here, in the case of the boar, diodeale, havele liodea. The owner of the lid, he knows who owns the boar, and you would say, no, he shouldn't be potter. He should inform the owner of the boar that he's taking the lid away. Kamash Malan, Ravina comes to teach us that no, it doesn't make a difference if we know the owner of the hazard. What teaches us is that an owner of a hazard cannot make someone else liable without their awareness, without their knowledge. So let's go back. In the case of the wall, the person who puts the sharp objects in the wall, he can't make the owner of the wall chayev because the owner doesn't know. The owner is not aware of it, and therefore he can never be liable for it, at least in the case of a rickety wall. In our case of the boar, the man who retrieves his lid, true, he knows there's going to be a hazard now, but guess what? I didn't create the hazard. The owner of the hazard can't make me liable for my cover when I remove the cover. So that's what Ravina is teaching us. You might have thought that, wait, in the case of the wall, I don't know who owns the sharp objects, and therefore the owner is potter because he has no recourse. The answer is no. What we learn really from the case of the boar, and we really apply it, is that a person who owns a hazard cannot make somebody else liable for that hazard without their knowledge.